What's up, guys? This is Patrick. Today's topic, if you could see the title of the video, is recession time, contraction and expansion, and what that means regarding your psychology and your energy management. Some of you guys don't know, I work with people for a living, a lot of drug and alcohol people, and you could probably say that a lot of their life is living in a recession. So I've learned a lot about human behavior from working with these people that I want to share with you guys regarding how macroeconomics tends to play out. So right now you see prices are moving all over the place. We're entering into what is considered a bear market. So some people are reacting. You see gas prices moving up. You see people maybe moving around careers, moving around jobs, moving their assets around. Maybe you've done it yourself, selling things because the stock market has been dropping. And you can hear them talk about interest rates increasing on housing as well. So what exactly is happening during these recessions? Looking at basic economics, when a bear market is happening, a lot of people have fear. They have fear that they're going to lose their 401k. They have fears that they're going to lose the shirt off their backs. Maybe they'll lose their jobs. Maybe they won't make a profit in their business. And it sends them into a psychological state. We know that one as fear. When fear is happening in the individual, it ends up taking over them a little bit. If you guys haven't seen my video on shame, it's going to kind of help you recognize what I'm talking about. Fear and shame, it goes to the basic statement, which is be humble or be humiliated. When somebody is being shamed or they are being put on the spot, say you have an entire community or even a global community, all of a sudden you're no longer what you once were. That could be the reputation that you had. That could be being the top dog, if you're the top dog in your industry. And that could be the leading edge, essentially, of how you conduct yourself. All of a sudden a recession happens. It happens all across the globe. Maybe there's some economic transfers that are going on in the world, wealth transfers. And some businesses will be just like people. They'll stay the same. They'll keep doing what they believe works. And some companies, it might just still work for them, right? Others, they keep doing the same thing and it ends up hurting them. Be humble or be humiliated. This is what ends up happening to people. Say they do a behavior that's no longer healthy. You can see that in my shame video. It causes a great shame. When you think psychologically, when a person is being shamed, if you've experienced shame, you know what it feels like. Maybe you have the red all over your face. You could say you get little beta brain waves, high beta brain waves that start going and you're not able to think carefully. Maybe you're not able to think of responses. Say you're in a public shaming. All this stuff is happening. Everything's happening so fast. And now all of a sudden you have to react, you have to respond. It's either you tell the truth or you don't. So these all happen when you're feeling the shame or humiliation. Think of it on a recession level. Businesses being shamed, the ways of doing things, the power structures, your boss having to bite the pill saying what you're doing is not working and you need to make a change. How many people are going to take that in? How many people are going to change their mindset and say, you know what, we have to try something different. Hey, we have to take a risk because the way you've been doing it has not been working. That's what we see on the large level. So the people that are able to adapt and respond end up doing fairly well when a recession ends up happening. They double down on themselves, they double down on their efforts, and they already have a growth mindset. So they're already doing things like enacting courage, they're creating their plans, they're preparing ahead of time, they're starting to try new different things in order to respond to their environment. this doesn't necessarily happen per se when people are shamed, especially if you're not good with handling shame. And this is on a personal level, so this is the psychology aspect. So when people are experiencing shame, a lot of the times what ends up happening, like I said, those thoughts leave. All the new thoughts that they had, or the theories. This is this one quote they say: everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. I think that was Mike Tyson. It goes the same way, right? You might have all these theories about how the world works or how things work, and then you're put on the spot, and then you see, it's called the spotlight effect. You do what you've already practiced and what you've already rehearsed. And a lot of the times when people don't do that and they're living in this delusional reality and they're not really facing things because they just had all this prosperity, they just had a bull market, whatever you call it. All of a sudden, now they're seeing reality, and the whole market's doing exactly what people do when they're experiencing shame and humiliation on the personal level. What they're doing is they're going back to what they know. What do they know that is real? What do they know that is working for them and has worked in the past? On a psychological level, people are turning back to their old behaviors. You call it a regression in behaviors. So that could be really childish. It could be doing something that they learned in the past and it seemed to work, and they revert back to that, right? They double down on those efforts. When you see it in, like I said, with the businesses, they continue doing things that they used to. You can also see that with economic behavior. So what are the things that go up when you have a recession, right? Food goes up, and energy. Those are things that tend to do well when it's all happening. Surprisingly enough, when people are psychologically in a state of fear for a long time, remember we talked about the high beta waves, they're running on a hormone, it's called cortisol. So that stress hormone eats away at them. And if they keep fearing things and they're not doing anything about it, right, it keeps eating away at them, and they get tired. They get stressed out. And when they're getting tired and stressed out, then ironically enough, what do you need? You need energy. Look at the United States. What is it? 33% of people with obesity. A lot of people in poverty actually pick up obesity, and that's a way because they're using the food to cope, because it spikes their parasympathetic nervous system, which allows them to relax, and that's what they do. You see other people, maybe the old timers, the doomsday preppers, that are like, see, I told you we're gonna go in a recession. And they say, here, we got God's money here. We got gold. We know this works. This is what we did back in the day. It's a proven, tried, tested concept. The same thing when you're stressed on the spotlight effect, you do the same things that you already know work. So if you've been preparing, if you've already cultivated a growth mindset, you're doing very well. Maybe we're catching this really early. This is uncertainty, it's unknown. Just like being put on the spot, that's what this recession is. So you ask yourself this question: are you responding? Are you preparing? Are you trying new things? Are you being courageous? Are you putting yourself out there? Or are you caving into those stressful thoughts? Are you caving into all that shame and all that doubt, right? So this is where we're at currently in this day-to-day life. So if you need help with cultivating your mindset to take on this responsibility, to take on this recession, to look for opportunity, I'll gladly help you. Please send me a message. I'll be glad to talk to you about it. I offer a coaching program. Maybe it might be something that can help you take it to the next level. This is Patrick from High Shield, and I'll see you guys in the next one.